Hong Kong since 2019 has gone through some problems, up until 2019 when we had the protests. What has happened since 1997, a group of pan-democrats, which were kind of anti-Beijing, became very vocal, and in some cases even violent, even in LegCo, behaving like school children, and not really like LegCo members, like politicians. Basically, a lot of the future of Hong Kong got slowed down. In essence, that caused a hardship for many, many people in Hong Kong. Livelihood issues, small houses that they live in, low salary, low income. LegCo was the place that could fix it, but because everything was slowed down, everything was stopped, budgets could not be passed. It took many, many days, weeks to pass certain bills. And Hong Kong, which was the leader pre-97, was falling behind. And so I think it was important that the Chinese government, decided the best way forward is to have patriots, people who love China, who believe in China, who believe that this is the way forward for Hong Kong, that at least we can unblock the blockage and really make it move and bring Hong Kong back to its glory days. Of course, Western countries might say, oh, this is not legitimate because you're blocking certain people from running the elections and you're putting in restrictions. But if you look at many countries, including the UK, you have to be patriotic to the UK government, in order to be elected. And I think that it's important that Hong Kong does not deviate from that. I think that, of course, you get criticism from some Western countries who politically like to criticize, because if you're not practicing their system, basically, in order to benefit Hong Kong and the Hong Kong people, patriots, people who believe in Hong Kong, who believe in the system, should be the ones in LegCo. Just because you're a patriot doesn't mean you can't question certain bills that are going to be passed by the government. Of course you could. After 97, during the protests, after Occupy Central, during the protests in 2019, many young people thought independence is the right way, and they were under the impression that Hong Kong is a separate country, basically, from, kind of like Singapore. And it's not. We are part of China, and whether they like it or not, and China has the right to pass whatever system they think is the right system, and this system is fair because it'll make Hong Kong a better place.
True, and I think patriotism is an inherent quality of a political leader or a governor.
Absolutely. Everywhere. Patriotism is something that's very important. One of the big problems we had in Hong Kong is in our education system, we never had national studies. And when I was young, growing up in Canada, in Montreal, every morning, I was maybe 6 years old in school, 5 years old, they raised the flag. I had to salute the flag. It was the British flag, and sing "God Save the Queen." And that was the way all the schools, and in the United States, the same. They sang the Star Spangled Banner and they raised the American flag, and people grew up knowing what their nationality was. And in Hong Kong, because after 97, the government decided to put liberal studies into the schools instead of national education. That was a mistake, and obviously young people grew up not really understanding that we are part of China, and it's important once and for all. Patriotism gives you an identity, makes you understand that we are Chinese and we're Hong Kongese, but overall Chinese. And Hong Kong is part of China, and that's the most important thing. So number one, whoever is a politician has to swear allegiance to China, Hong Kong, and be a patriot. So you won't have 17 of 18 districts falling into pan-Democrat hands. And they have 117 seats to re-elect the chief executive out of the 1,200. Those 117 district council seats should be abolished, and maybe should be. People who are really, patriotic towards Hong Kong, and who will elect a chief executive who can help Hong Kong, who really can unite Hong Kong. That's something that's very, very important. I also think that maybe breaking up the current 5 geographical constituencies into 18 districts, scrapping the 5 popularly returned seats in the legislature, because I think with 1 vote and 2 seats mechanism to allow 35 directly elected seats in a 70-strong chamber, that will help. And each eligible voter under this proposal, they'd have 1 vote to elect 2 members in each constituency. In the Island District, which has the smallest population, would be allocated only 1 seat. And then, of course, you have the 5 district council seats, the super seats, should also be scrapped, because, again, if it's district council, super seats, again, unless eventually those people take the oath and they're patriots, then we can keep it. Once we have everyone taking oath, and whether you're a civil servant, whether you're a legislative member, whether you're running for district council, as long as you take the oath that you are really patriotic, then I believe you have a very good chance to go forward. Literally, Hong Kong will be a better place.